everyone.
Hey, and welcome to After Hours here at Linda's Electric Quilters.
We are super excited tonight. We have an awesome big reveal
We do.
to show you, so we cannot wait for everybody to get on and get to check it out and see how it was all done and made. We have the store here that put it together, the Quilt Asylum out of Denison, Texas, so we're super excited to introduce you to them. So are you excited?
I'm super excited.
I know, it's funny. We're like nervous. We have like an audience over there.
I know. So I'm not used to being here and no one's here.
I know. We could
It's just easy. We're good to go. As always, if you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure you're subscribed to our channel. It's right down at that bottom right-hand corner. And if you're watching us on Facebook, please make sure you follow and like that Facebook page so you can stay notified whenever we go live here at Linda's Electric Quilters.
So if you've been following our YouTube and Facebook for the last couple weeks, you've seen Corey do a few of the kind of like small parts of the quilt, right?
Correct.
You know, whether it was the belt buckle or whether it was...
Well, what quilt, though? What if they've never seen it yet?
Oh, that's true. Well, we're about to reveal it to you soon. But it's the Big Tex Quilt.
Correct.
So anyway, he was showing you snippets, how he was quilting, the ideas he was coming up with, why he came up with those ideas. And now tonight, we are super excited to be able to do the big reveal of everything.
Correct. Yeah. It was a really fun and amazing process, and we'll get to it a little bit sooner, or a little bit later actually, after we do the reveal. But it was just absolutely stunning, and I'm so happy that it has come together this way.
Yeah, the collaboration between the two stores just made it's amazing, and it was made for the All Texas Quilt Shop Hop. You're going to hear a lot about it, why it was made, and what it was for.
Yeah.
I think we should just get to the reveal.
You just always straight to the just rip the Band-Aid off.
Just rip it off. Let's go.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Well, can we do a 3, 2, 1?
At 3, 2, 1.
Like a 3, 2, 1 countdown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Three,
All right.
okay.
Wait. Ready? All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And there he is. So.
Oh my goodness! Look at that.
He's so cool.
Yes, he
So
is.
excited. So there's Big Tex. He is hanging up, all done. A few of the little extra pieces have been added on after the fact, which is great. But I love it. What do you think?
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. So I can't wait to like talk about it. Bring in the Karen. No, I know. I was trying to say, is she the owner or the maker of the store? And I'm like flabbergasted here. So she's going to tell us all about it and why it happened. Well, it's nothing like being live, right?
It's always live.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it goes.
We just have to laugh with it. And then to be able to look up close at it.
So this is the quilt with the lighting on it.
Yes.
I think it's also really cool to show the shadowing effect that you get from the texture with the 2 layers of batting. So I will turn off the lights and we will get a view of it. It is so pretty.
And we're definitely going to get some close-ups of it
Yes.
as well. This is just to give you an idea.
Oh yeah, that looks really good.
Okay, yep. Oh, then you can see the skyline and everything.
So I'm going to turn the lights back on and we will start getting closer to it. Mom doesn't have her mic, so I'm going over here. All right, so again, this is the full Big Tex, and I just want to go ahead and bring Karen in from the Quilt Asylum. She is here with us to do the reveal. And first of all, what do you think?
I'm just shocked. What we started with and what was in our happy little heads to what it's evolved into is just...
It's incredible.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
So tell me, what was the inspiration? Can you kind of take us through how this started?
When we first got the fabric shown to us that's going out for the All Texas Shop Hop,
Right.
there was no Big Tex on it. And I realized that there are trademark issues, and so I hopped online and Googled who's the attorney for Big Tex and shot them an email, and 3 days later they wrote me back and said, you can make one quilt, you can't sell the pattern, which is fine.
That was a question I got
don't know
a
that
couple
we
of
could
times.
duplicate this again. But and so we just said, let's do it. And we'll when I started talking to you about quilting it,
Right.
it started evolving into
Yeah.
things, and we just decided, let's make it a selfie quilt.
Yeah.
And so when you come into our store during the shop hop, he'll be there and you can have your picture made with him.
That's awesome. So how long for the putting together the appliquing, all of it? What was the timeline for this?
Probably a couple months.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that
I
was more than I
had
thought.
Debbie Patterson. She is a quilter, but she does a lot of collage work in town. And so I called her and said, "Hey, I've got this wild idea," and she jumped on it. She did all of his face, and I mean, she built him. She did it. I just threw fabric at her for what she needed, and she is the mastermind really behind it all.
Well,
so
go Debbie.
yeah.
He is incredible. He's incredible. So, Diana, I know you've got a few questions. What have you got for us?
I think you kind of handled it. I mean, basically, how many people? I know they can't hear me, so I got closer. I have my mic on. Like, how many people did it take to put it together? But I think you just answered that.
We had Debbie laid it all out. I provided the fabric and the pattern kind of for it.
Yep.
We had Cynthia Johnson did our embroidery work for the belt buckle and the boots,
Okay.
and then Corey quilted it beautifully for us.
No, I love it. It looks really good, and it really does symbolize what Big Tex looks like. If you've been to the Texas State Fair, you've seen Big Tex. I mean, that is the icon of the fair. So, and it really does do justice. Who came up with the baby quilt idea?
Debbie did, actually.
Okay.
So we wanted to, since his arm's out here and this is a quilt store, we thought, let's hang a quilt on there. And she happened to have this. It was just a scrap piece from a friend of ours who had passed away.
Okay.
And so we just thought it'd be really neat to embroider little Tex. His first day that he was displayed at the State Fair was October 8th, 1952, so we put that as his born. And then he weighed 6,000 pounds, and his length was 660 inches. So we made that kind of his baby quilt. And this quilt's probably around 70 years old or so.
Wow. That's really cool. And I love how you have that information, like you said, on there for people to kind of see that and how it was embroidered in. And then I know I watched Corey attach it to the arm and how kind of though it's laying over on the quilt, so then
It's
you
loose.
can kind of see, and then the background right there. Let me flip it over with you, sorry.
We lucked out. This is Moda's Spotted, and it matched that really well.
Yeah, it looks
And
really
so we
good.
put the back on it, attach it to the quilt, and then so it looks like the whole thing is draped over his arm.
So I love the character that you put into it, even adding the tie. That was really cool, just to kind of give it like a 3D dimension look. So that looks really cool.
It really takes it to a completely different meaning. You see so many different quilts are more that single dimension, very flat. This one gives so much different character by adding on all the different elements that are built into it.
Exactly.
Just super duper fun.
Exactly. I think we should ask you a few questions. Let's get up close and personal on the quilting,
Okay.
and I'll zoom in and why you do that.
Okay. Well, ask away.
All right. So my first question is going to be, what was your favorite part?
What was my favorite part? Honestly, my favorite part was the design aspect. When I first got the quilt top here when Karen brought it, I pinned it up in the studio, and I took one big picture of it without everything on it. It was just the quilt top at that point. And I put it into my quilting software, and I started throwing patterns on it. I started drawing in different things and really moving it around to get it the exact way that I wanted it to look, or the kind of the vision that I had. I got a few pointers on different things. We would like it to, the back of the quilt that hangs here to have some type of cross hatching. We'd like him stitched down, a little bit of decorative stitching on the actual shirt. But other than that, go for it. So honestly, my favorite part was the creative process of just figuring out what should go where and how to make it look.
And then what made you choose to do wind and clouds? Wind and clouds versus, the way you have it done?
So I started off with, I found this pattern. This pattern was from Kim Diamond of Sweet Dreams Quilt Studio. And I loved the cloud aspect, and I loved the wind, because every time I go to the State Fair, it's always sunny and shiny and beautiful, and the clouds are out as well.
It is every time?
Every
Like
time I
there's no
go.
rain?
Every time I go. I don't ever run into the rain, luckily. So I loved the cloud and the wind, and I thought it just added a little bit of extra dimension for the background of it. Of course, Big Tex is the main attraction. It's the
Yeah.
showstopper of the quilt. So I didn't want to put anything super extravagant in the background, and that's exactly where your eye went, and it left him.
Yeah,
Because that
exactly.
wasn't the point.
Okay, good idea.
He's the point. I initially was going to do this pattern all the way down the quilt to the flowers, but it would have taken the illusion away of how tall he is. He's so tall, he stands up in the clouds.
Okay, that's a
So
good point. Never
if
thought
I would have
about
had
that.
it, yeah, if I would have had it go all the way down, it would have shrunk him back to little Tex
Little text.
from an overall kind of like ratio. So going into that, I said, well, I need to figure out a different pattern to place here that also works with the top. Because if I went in and added in a completely different swirl pattern, it would have messed up density, it would have thrown off the illusion of it. So I contacted Kim, and she redrew this pattern without the cloud and to add in extra swirl to give it a little bit more wind on that windy day at the State Fair.
Perfect. Okay, so what was your most challenging part?
Quilting through the layers of applique.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different layers in here, and that's how he's built. But quilting through those layers can really send you sometimes because you can get skip stitches from that just because that needle can have that little bit of deflection.
Yeah.
So I really had to figure out different ways to work around that. So that was probably my most challenging part that I had. Outside of the Ferris wheel, too. The Ferris wheel was a little challenging to
Tell us
me.
a little bit about the Ferris wheel.
So I decided, being the go-getter that I am, that I was going to do the exact same pattern that I had here in the outer background in between all the little pieces in the Ferris wheel, because that's just how I am, how my brain works. I'm crazy. So that took me 2 days.
Yeah, because you
Because
didn't
I
want
had
to stitch over
I didn't
the
want to stitch
railing.
over the railing.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to look like it was in the background more. So I really wanted the pattern to look like it was continuous. So this day 2, I stopped this at about midnight, and I finished it from 5 to midnight, getting it done because I wanted it done a very specific way, and I had to slow the machine way down just to ease into it.
Gotcha. So what kind of batting and thread did you use? I know
Good
we
question.
got that question a lot.
Yeah. So there are 2 layers of batting in this. The bottom layer is Linda's Choice, which is going to be 100% cotton with a scrim. That's going to keep it hanging as straight as it possibly can. There's a few other extra elements that now move that, but it gives it a nice, straight, full body feature. And then I've got wool on top of that to give all the extra poof where there is open spaces for the poofing.
Okay. And then what was the thread that you used?
Oh, I've got a bunch of different ones on here. I did monopoly, which was the clear thread to do all over, basically the stitching around the embroidery,
Okay, what was
the
this
railing. Yeah, you can get probably the railing, you'll be able to see it better.
Yeah.
But it's that clear thread, really, really difficult to see, but that was the point. I have Affinity in the background here. It's a baby blue variegated, just to kind of blend in with the fabric. And then I've got a Novatech on here, and then a couple more Affinities
Super cool.
in there as well. But I guess another favorite part that I have,
Oh, there's more than one?
yeah, another favorite part is the Dallas skyline.
Yes, that's my favorite part, actually.
So if you don't know, or as many of you know, the Texas State Fair is in Dallas, Texas. And the skyline is another iconic part of Dallas. And so I found a picture and made some adjustments to how I liked it. But I got a line drawing, basically. And then I was able to digitize that to put it here on the quilt
Yeah.
to make it really poof.
I really feel like that gave character to it as well, too, because he is in downtown Dallas at Fair Park, and so that really did add that other element. And so what did you do with the flowers and stuff?
Oh, the bottom. So my original plan, because I am the ambitious type, was to free motion every single one of these flowers, to go in and add every little piece, change out thread color. I started it right here, and I decided that's not what I was going to do anymore, because it took me about 30 minutes to get about this far. So I ended up picking all of that out, and then I went in with an edge-to-edge from Anita Shackelford called modern eccentric. And it has really tight waves that give the illusion that the grass is flowing in the wind that is in the background as well. Since that wind was going so heavily in the back, I wanted to have that same illusion that the grass was moving with it. And so it really just brings the fabric to life. And I did a really dark variegated green, not to take away from the flowers, but just to add a little bit of foreground color.
So can you, with the lights off, do you get to see any of the shadowing with
Yes, yeah. So we
this?
can get the
boots,
lights.
too. The boots are so cute. There we go. Now we can see the quilting. While we're looking at the quilting, Talia, do we have any questions for Corey or for Karen?
Actually, before she hops into that,
Oh,
I
sorry.
want to ask Karen, what is your favorite part of this quilt?
Oh, good question.
It's not all about me.
I think just the overall being able to pull it all together, but I really do like the Dallas skyline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that was probably
That was-
my favorite part too.
that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Talia, what you got for us?
I did see somebody ask if the jeans were treated.
It is a navy blue grunge. Navy, the color is navy grunge.
So if the question was, if everyone didn't hear Talia, were the jeans treated? And I think the grunge gave it that illusion that they were kind of a weathered treated. It's not an actual denim.
Correct.
It is just a,
And we hand stitch the stitching that is on the jeans and the belt loops. They
Oh,
stand
yeah.
up from the belt loops do.
oh yeah, the belt loops you can, oh hold on, can you do that with the camera? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the belt loops, I left those free. If you go to her store and you play with, don't touch the quilt, but
Yes.
they are free, so now you can see them, that they do move.
Now we get a close-up of this, and we can turn the lights back on if we want. Ooh, there we go. And I kind of want to pan over to her group a little bit over there. I did a second ago, but it was kind of
Studio
dark.
audience.
All right, so if you just want to say your name?
Debbie Patterson.
She's the one who
Did all
Put it
that.
all together,
Okay,
yes.
awesome job.
Thank you.
Beth Falco.
Okay.
She has held my hand through my business.
Uh-huh.
And Laura Johnson is our local, she quilts all my quilts in my store,
Gotcha.
except this one.
Except this one. And then we got
she
that.
was like, please, give that to Corey.
And we got the help hiding over there.
Yes.
Anyway, well, awesome. You guys did a great job all together. Okay.
Talia, what you got?
I think a couple of people hopped on late, and I think they were wondering where this quilt was going to be. I know
Oh.
we kind of went over that, but
Yeah. Okay. So just to reiterate, where is he going to be?
He will be hanging at 416 West Main Street in downtown Denison, Texas, at the Quilt Asylum.
Awesome. And he'll be hanging there from March 1st to the end of April,
From
April 30th.
whatever today is.
Oh, yeah. I
Tonight
guess, yeah, he'll go
till-
straight up there
He'll
tonight.
go straight there. And hopefully we're going to submit him and get accepted into the State Fair of Texas Quilt Show.
I bet they probably won't want to give it back to you.
Boy, that'd be nice.
I bet they won't want to give it back to you.
So, yeah, we're hoping to submit him in there and hope they appreciate what we've done.
I think they will. I think they will. I think they will.
No, for sure. And definitely, like you were saying, if you want to see this quilt in person, you have to go to the Quilt
to go to
Asylum
the Quilt
in Denison,
Asylum.
Texas.
And you have
if
to
you
take a
want to do it
selfie
during
with
the
it.
shop hop and get your little square or two at the same time,
I have a selfie hashtag for it.
oh, perfect, perfect.
So I think in that honor, I think you and I should be the first to take a selfie with him.
I love that.
So let's go do that. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Awesome.
In front of it, didn't I?
Well, thank you. All right. What else, Mom? What you got?
I don't know. I think we're good. I'm not sure if we have any other questions or not. Ty, are we good on questions?
Good. I think
Okay.
everyone's ooh and ahhing.
I know, right? So if you end up having any questions, if you caught on late or you catch this after the fact, put them in the feed. We always go back and answer the questions after the fact also. Again, if you want to see this in person, which you do,
You do.
because it's
You-
you
the
might have
camera
seen the
doesn't do it
close up, the
justice.
camera, but it just doesn't do it justice. make sure you go visit the Quilt Asylum in Denison, Texas. Check it out, take a selfie with it, and then when you're done with them, come down and see us here at Linda's Electric Quilters because we're right down the road. There we have awesome stuff at both stores.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
That's awesome. I'm so honored. I think this is like the most, like my biggest accomplishment in my career.
No, you did a really good job. And
I'm
as your
just very
mom, I'm
honored.
super proud of you.
Oh,
Like
thanks, Mom.
yeah, you
Don't
did
start
really-
crying on camera.
I know, he always catches me do that, right? Well, I mean,
This
well,
was,
when you are a mom, you know, you always you have those proud moments, and this is like a really proud moment. I mean, he grew up in this area. This is an icon for him. He sees it every year. He focuses and makes a point to go to the Texas State Fair every
I call
year.
in sick every year.
To go down there so he can be there and just be a part of the feel of it all. It's just, and so for him to be able to do this was a true honor.
Was an honor.
And as a mom, it was a blessing to be able to watch him do it and to see his talent evolve, see him find some challenges, overcome those challenges, and figure it out. So hey, can't be prouder of you.
Thanks, Mama.
Yep, you're welcome.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here tonight on After Hours. Again, if you have any questions, throw them in the comments, and we will check them out later.
Exactly.
All right, Big Tex. Off to Denison you go.
Exactly.
Bye.
Bye.